We're live. Hello, happy Friday. Sherry's here. What a treat. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It was a week of famine. What can I say? I've said that 2025. Howie Claus either gives us everything or very little. And it's okay. We've still got some stuff we can discuss. We're still going to hang out on this Friday, and hopefully I can keep you a little bit entertained, and hopefully you're out there and you can keep me company. We'll talk about Nightwing. This is the second thing that Howie Claus has revived from the figure graveyard this year. We'll take a look at the figure graveyard. What are some of the figures that Hot Toys has shown us and never released? You can tell me at that time which figure you'd like to see them relive. We'll talk about the Wednesday tease, and we'll also talk about some upcoming figure releases, because we've had another post from Korea, which is sounds odd, but we've had a couple of these posts throughout the year that give us the figure release schedule, and it tends to be pretty accurate. So we'll have a look at that, and I think some of the figures on the list for September will probably make people happy. I'm hoping in September it's when I'll get my Endgame Wanda. There's a big gap in the A-Force display for her, so I'm hoping she will come in September. That's apparently the 30th of September is when she'll be in stock in Australia, so I can only hope, right? Shuri's deserted me. That's a bit mean. It's a bit mean. What do they say? Don't work with kids and animals, but she's both. So what can I do? Let's see who's here to hang out with me on this Friday. Carlos, my hype man, first in the comments as always. Good morning, Helen and chat. Sending my usual hello from a very hot 98 Fahrenheit, New Jersey, with unusual lows at night in the 70s. What a weird week of releases from Hot Toys, from Wednesday to Arkham Nightwing. Has Howie gone mad? I mean, Howie's an enigma wrapped in a riddle, so maybe. I will catch the replay later after work, and as usual, let's not forget to hit the like button, of course, and subscribe, spread the word, and help our dear friend Helen grow her channel. I mean, and win delicious Tim Tams. 4,000 subscribers, we're going to give away an assortment of Tim Tams. If you win, I will tell you the Tim Tam options. You will get to select, I think it's 7 packets fit in a box. I will buy the 7 packets of Tim Tams that you want, and I will then ship them to you anywhere in the world. That's my promise. That's going to be the next channel giveaway. The gift of calories and deliciousness from the land of Down Under. Like, who doesn't want to win some Tim Tams? It's unique, it's delicious. Everybody wins. Except if you're lactose intolerant or celiac. I don't think Tim Tams are giving you anything but a bad time. But I digress. Toy Collectors here. Happy Friday, Helen and chat. Looking forward to some figure talk. Pretty excited that about the Wednesday tease. Just hoping it doesn't remain a tease. Well, I mean, the Thunderbolts say hi. Going to take some time to unbox my Indiana Jones while watching. Arrived from Pop Culture this week. Oh, that's cool. Are you in Australia, Toy Collector, or somewhere else? I don't know where you're located. Well, maybe you've told me. For some reason, I think you're in the UK, but I may be wrong, so apologies. I do my best to try to remember where everyone is from, but awesome that you got your figure from Pop Culture. As I say, Wanda's the next one I think that's coming from me. I don't even know what would be next after that. I don't know. Lots of pre-orders, nothing coming in. Uncarded Reviews is here. Release the Black Widow. Well, I mean, that's the word on the street, right? Hopefully she's very soon. Bobby's here. Fun Friday. How are you, Bobby? Hope you're having a great day. Dark Knight Archives, greetings from Gotham, Helen. Happy Friday to you and everyone in the chat. So I have to ask, and I don't know if anybody can answer this question for me. There seems to be a trend where sporting teams in New York are now using Gotham. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a women's soccer team, and then I feel like I saw another sporting team that were calling themselves the Gotham whatever, but they're in New York. And I'm not mad about it, don't get me wrong. I just don't understand where this has come from. And do you live in New York? Or do you just live in Gotham in your mind like I like to think that I do too? I don't know. Miss Batwoman is here. Happy Friday, everyone. Nice to see the Shuri tail. I mean, it is a magnificent tail. It's like a beautiful raccoon. And she graced us with it, and now she's gone, and hopefully she comes back. But it's very cold, and I left the heater on in the other room, so I'm going to hazard a guess she's going to camp out there. But who knows? Anthony Stanfield is here. Hi, Helen. Great to see you again. Likewise. Thank you for coming to hang out. Tijuana Mike is here as well. Happy Friday, collectors. Happy Friday to you. Oh, my goodness. Figure in a bubble. Tim Tam Fund lives on. My goodness. The Tim Tam Fund is looking pretty lucrative. So, again, hence why a box of 7 packets of Tim Tams. That's a lot of Tim Tams. It's going to get posted anywhere you live in the world if you win. It's coming up. But that's so kind. Thank you very, very much for the $4.99 super chat. Totally didn't have to. It's very cool. JB, afternoon all have some Tim Tams on order. Oh, do you? Which ones did you get? Because that's the fun thing. Because I sent some Tim Tams over to Costa, and I like hearing what people think of them, but also which flavors they like. Because there are quite a few different varieties. At the moment, we have a limited edition strawberries and cream Tim Tam, but I don't really do white chocolate, so I have not tried it. But there's lots of flavors. So again, whoever wins, I'm going to show you everything that's available, and you can pick out what you want. And I will send it to you because I like to say I'm a woman of the people. I try to be, at least. The Broke Collector, my foundation member. My favorite day of the week is here. So nice to be here with friends. 100%. Who needs Hot Toys to make announcements for us to hang out and talk about collecting, right? Howie, that crazy guy. Anthony Stanfield says, could you please tell me which ankle pegs you got for Mars Two-Face? I can't find them on Kit's site. Okay. I'm going to do a quick look. So it's part of a set. So let me just quickly check. Because I said this before, I like to have a lot of Kit Bash parts on hand. So on Kit's site, it's called Height Adjusting Leg Extension Set. I don't know if my ring light's going to get in the way. Yes, it will. Because it's in a great spot. That's what you're looking for. So it's really handy. So you've got, I just messed up my laptop stand. That's fun. You've got 4 different leg extenders, and it's really good because they're different heights. So you've got them there to muck around with, because I did look at a couple of different pegs, but I used like the smallest one from the set, and I found that was just enough to sort out the issue with the baggy pants. Because you do have to be a bit careful with some of the bigger ones that you're not then, if you want to pose the figure, it might make it a bit awkward around the ankle peg. But I hope that gives you enough info. I literally went onto Kit's site and searched for leg, and it was the first result. So it's $18 US. It's got a set of like 4 pegs. And then you get a lot of loose ball joints as well, because with some of the extenders, you've got to then clip the ball joints into. Some of them, when they're small, they just have the little ball joint built into it. So I hope that helps. And if you can't find it, feel free to drop me a comment. Oh, no, YouTube doesn't like links. Instagram or Facebook, I'm there as Helen-6Scale Shiro on Facebook, or just 6Scale Shiro on Instagram. Drop me a comment and I will flick you a direct link, because they are really handy to have. And I also like having even just some of the different neck connectors that Kit has on his site. Again, this is the kind of stuff that every now and then, if I don't have something, I just go through and I buy a bunch of little connectors and I have them. And it's just such a time saver if you're trying to swap out a part or do something. You don't want to then be like, oh, I've got to wait a week for something to arrive. Like when I've got them on hand, actually, I've got... See? I got all kinds of little parts and pieces. Super handy. Super handy. Keith Lee is here. Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Keith. Hope you're doing well. Mike's here. Hey, everyone. I heard Tim Tams had to jump in. By the way, how are you making out with the Tim Tams sponsorship? Well, I mean, I should really send Shuri there on my behalf to petition for some kind of ambassadorship, because I feel like I am taking Tim Tams to the world. And I feel like that should be recognized with some kind of endorsement, lifetime supply, regular shipment. I don't know. Arnott's, if you're watching, hi, big fan. Also love a mint slice. Delicious. I went for caramel. Well, caramel is a very great choice. And caramel, I think, are the best ones to Tim Tam Slam. Shuri. There she is. Look at her. She's so cute. My little Shuri. She's come back. You going to show people your tail? She has her cat scratcher there. So that's what, if you can hear a noise, that's what she's doing. She's scratching cardboard so she doesn't scratch my house down. Uncarded Review says, I refuse to pre-order anything else until things I already ordered started shipping. Well, I mean, didn't you order like 12 things the other week? I feel like you've got a lot on pre-order. Ramstein Fancy, howdy, Helen, Shuri, and chat. Great to be here, at least for a little bit. How about that handsome Nightwing? Easy, I'm guessing that's Dopo for me. Yeah, look, wasn't that a pleasant surprise? Again, Howie likes to surprise us with a few things from the figure archive. I did not expect that. I feel like So Toys has done at least one run of that, if not a second one was meant to be coming. So I was, oh, Shuri, you roll around, Bubby, you show them. I didn't know what to expect. Like Hot Toys, they show us things, we never see them again. And they have gone quite deep into that Arkham line. But then they showed that Nightwing. I think a lot of people were really excited for it. Then nothing happened. And even I really liked that photo they had of the Batman and the Bat woman girl in the game. Like, it looked really cool. So I find it interesting that they waited so long and then now they're doing it. They're making it such a limited release figure as well, because I just would have felt like that figure would potentially have a broader appeal than, was it 2,000 units going to Sideshow and a limited amount in Hong Kong? I don't know. Collection Obsession is here. Hi, Helen. Greetings from California. Well, hello. How you doing? Greetings from Western Australia. Thank you, Helen. That's great. I see them now. Awesome. I'm glad you found them. I'm definitely not located in New York, Helen. Mentally, I'm living in Gotham, but really, I'm located in the Lone Star State. Oh, you're in Texas. That's cool. I went to Texas last year, and I really enjoyed it. I went to San Antonio and Austin and Dallas, and I had an amazing time eating brisket. All the brisket all the time. Me and the barbecue, we had an amazing time in Texas, so it was very cool. I didn't get to a Buc-ee's though, which was a shame, because I had this stupid thing where I wanted to go to a Buc-ee's, but whenever I looked up where a Buc-ee's was, the amount of money it would have cost me to like Uber out there and back to go to like a gas station, I couldn't justify it in my head. I'm like, I'm not paying $100 US, which is like $1 million Australian, to go to Buc-ee's. So I didn't. So on the list for next time, maybe I'll be lucky next time. Winman's here. Happy Friday, everyone. 75 Fahrenheit / 22.3 Celsius here in Albuquerque. TGIF. Well, thank you for the Celsius. It's 5 degrees Celsius here, which I believe is like 40 Fahrenheit, which is really cold for where I live. It's probably not cold by a lot of other people's standards, but for me, it's freezing. Bobby Dillon, the nicest guy in collecting. Thank you so much. Bobby's gifted 20 memberships to the channel, which is super kind. Thank you, Bob, and congratulations to everyone who got one. The Bob Father. That is a really good name for him, but also the nicest guy in collecting. Thank you, Bob. You're always so generous. He is. He is generous. Bob is the man. Thank you, Bob, for the membership. Every time. So kind. Mike Fell, I love that you suddenly slipped in lifetime supply, so I'm sure the massive viewership at Tim Tam HQ, I don't blame you in the least, as I would do the same. Well, I mean, my view in life has always been if you don't ask, you don't get. The worst they're going to say is no, right? The worst they're going to say is no. Like, shoot your shot, because if you don't have a chance of getting what you want, right? We put it out there in the universe and we see what the universe gives us back. If it's no, it's no. That's fine. But I know I asked. I won't die in doubt. Yes, unfortunately, I have just hit 200 pre-orders. 200 pre-orders. Howie Claus needs to pick up the pace. You have more pre-orders than I have figures. I have somewhere in the 100 range. I haven't counted lately. And when I count, I never know if I should be counting vehicles or not. But that's a lot of pre-orders. How big is your collection room? I feel like I have so many questions based on that. That is the correct response, JB. 200 pre-orders with all the question and exclamation marks. Yes, I have no words for that. That's a lot. I just got a notification for a meeting in 15 minutes. Anyone want to take my place? I mean, do you have I don't know. Do you have long hair? You could hide some earbuds in and there are these headphones now. One of my colleagues has that from a distance, they look like earrings, but I don't really know that a lot of men want that look. It's so not relevant to this conversation. Why did I bring that up? I don't really know. Yeah, that's a lot of pre-orders. Uncarded Review says, fortunately, it's not all Hot Toys, but almost all 1/6 scale. Do you collect troopers? Is it 50 troopers? Please don't be 50 troopers. Come on now. Maybe it's some big bloody beautiful dewbacks. I don't know. I do know you had the Two-Face and the Anne Hathaway Catwoman you were really hyped for. So I know you've got some J&D coming, but 200. I'm who do I feel could rival that? Maybe Bob. Bob probably has 200 custom pieces on order. Anthony says I have 16 POs and Uncarded Reviews called me a noob. I think I've got 14 now because what arrived? Two-Face arrived. So I was at 15. Now I'm down to 14. So I'm obviously a noob too. Thanks, Bobby D. You are the patron saint of collecting. He is. He really is. Why don't we get into the slides and the newsy news? And if you know me, and if you're new, you're the reason why I keep doing this if you're new. One man's hobby, William Wang. He has spent most of 2025 missing. If you put down a pre-order deposit on his website, I'm 99.9999999% recurring sure you're going to have a bad time. No one knows where he is. He says he's moved to China, has he? No one's heard from him in months. It's funny, when the Two-Face figure was up for pre-order, because 1/6 Kit, Storytime with Helen, gets the Mars Toys pre-order bonuses. So William got some Two-Face coins from, I don't know, Temu, and was offering them as an exclusive gift. So I put the challenge out. If anybody's gotten their Two-Face with the special coin from William, like, tell me. Tell me. People in Australia, other collectors are still trying very hard to get recourse through their banks, through PayPal. Some people are having success, some people are not. But as I keep saying, that website is still up there, and every now and then, I want to say at least every fortnight, I see a post somewhere, mainly on Reddit. Why is it always Reddit? One Man's Hobby, is that a reliable, safe website to order from? No, it's not. And I don't know if I've mentioned this a while, but again, if you have pre-ordered Jazz Inc. Catwoman from William Wang, he has defaulted on those payments. That is information that's become direct from Jazz Inc. And there are collectors in Australia that have gone to Jazz Inc. with proof of their deposits paid to William, and Jazz Inc. has been very kind in transferring their deposit and their pre-order directly to Jazz Inc. So if you've got that Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman on order, I know if you do, it's an important figure to you, and I don't want to see you getting screwed over by this guy. So you have recourse with Jazz Inc. directly. You can contact them. You can give them proof of your deposit. They will help you. But don't be going on that website and putting down POs and doing things like that, because this guy literally has hundreds and thousands of people's dollars in his pocket, and no one's heard from him in 3 months. And then prior to that, a couple of months, and then prior to that, a couple of months. So he emerges for 5 minutes, acts like, oh, why does everyone want refunds? I don't understand. Oh. So if you're new, please don't be doing pre-orders through this site. I beg of you. And thank you to everyone who, when people are asking if this is a good site to buy from, are speaking up, because at first there used to be defenders, and now I'm finding not so much, which at least people are opening their eyes and being realistic that this is not a good situation here. So until that website comes down, I feel like I want to keep this PSA in just as a quick reminder in case people are new to my channel. But my regulars, you know, and I appreciate that you know. Wednesday. Mike Frailer says, I thought 12-inch Moose Stream had a lot of figures. 200 POs is hard for me to imagine, as my collection is nowhere near that large. Me neither. Brisket is a great choice for barbecue. Bucky's has an amazing brisket burger. I recommend it if you ever get to a Bucky's next time you're in Texas. Well, that's what I had heard. And I had heard, yes, the brisket, and I had heard about all these other things they had, and even just like the merch. Like, I would have totally gotten some merch, which might sound sad, but I think that little beaver thing is cool. And I know there's like beaver named snacks. So yeah, I really, I wanted to do it. But as I say, I just was nowhere near one. And I was not going to spend a silly amount of money. But I did get to try the Franklin's barbecue brisket, and it was incredible. Yeah, I had so much amazing food in Texas. I really, really enjoyed it. I would do anything for brisket, things I'm not proud of. Well, if you're ever in Austin, Texas, you've got Franklin's Barbecue, but then they have like another business called Loro, and that was the brisket sandwich I had, because I wasn't going to line up for hours. I wasn't. And the guy at the hotel was really cool, and he gave me the tip about Loro, which is like the meats are all from Franklin Barbecue, but it's like this Asian fusion place. I think that was you guys call it a sandwich. We would call it a burger. It was the best brisket burger sandwich I've ever had in my life. But I still dream about that a year later. I really do. Always appreciate the Wang warning. Well, I mean, as I said, I just feel like I need to keep doing it because people keep asking the question, and I'm like, stop asking. Stop asking. Dark Knight Archive says Wednesday is a day one pre-order for me. And if people aren't following Bob Dylan on Instagram, he, of course, has a custom Wednesday figure, which looks pretty awesome. I know you're all going to be shocked. I hope you're sitting down. I have not seen Wednesday. I have heard really good things. I have seen The Addams Family as a kid. But I feel like I should watch this. I feel like it's really good and that people enjoy it. So I should get around to it one day, shouldn't I? Helen, I have a Buc-ee's near where I live. Next time you swing by, come over. I'm near Temple, Texas. Well, I mean, I don't know when next time will be, but I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. It's a long trip. It's a long trip and an expensive one, but I feel very fortunate to have come to the US 3 times. So I have enjoyed it. So yeah, I will keep that in mind. Thank you. William Wang seems to be avoiding my refund request. I mean, you and everyone else, JB. I know I went through my bank to see if I could recall the payment. And the problem with that is that relies on them contacting William and him responding. And if he's not in the country, well, he's not responding. How are they contacting him? But then I know there's other people that have said their bank has claimed there's no money in William's account to recall the payment. So he's ignoring everyone. So I think the people that are having the most luck are people in the PayPal window, and then people that have just been super persistent with their banks. I've debated how much time I want to put into this. I'm very fortunate I have not got a big amount of money with William. I only used him to pre-order a couple of So-So Toys figures. I only ever paid the minimum deposit, so it's like $100. But there's people that have thousands of dollars owed to them, so I can completely understand them pushing and trying all the different avenues. So I would just say keep trying and try through whatever financial institution you paid with, because William is not getting back to anyone ever. And I know when I asked him for refunds, because I said, look, I don't know what's happening with you. You keep disappearing. I don't have confidence that you can deliver these products. He just feigned ignorance. I just don't understand. They've not even been released yet. Why are you asking for a refund? Just didn't want to entertain it. So if you can find a way around him to get your money back, that is 100% what I would suggest you do. Bobby says, how he'd like to wait for season 2 drops to see if the hype is still strong. Oh, maybe. Winman42 says, I have not seen Wednesday either and probably won't. I watched the original show as a kid, never revisited it, and saw a bit of the first film, didn't care for it. It's not for me. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. That was really good. I just spilt a bunch of tea and I don't even really know how. So I have a drinking problem, it appears. That's fun. It's not embarrassing at all. I don't know what's wrong with me today, seriously. My goodness, but Hot Toys, it was a quiet week. But the 2 things they gave us were curveballs, were they not? Howie Claus likes to keep us guessing in 2025. I did not have Wednesday on my radar, but I do really like when we see them doing something different. So something that's not Star Wars, and that's the upside, guys. Star Wars free week. Isn't it great when it's a Star Wars free week? It makes me so happy. Never upset at a Star Wars free week. But no, I like it. I like when they venture into new IPs, they do different things. I have no idea how popular this might be. I have no idea if this might be limited. Might it be a case of, given the hair, the long plaits, might they just do an artisan drop? 3,000, 5,000? See what the interest is? I don't know, but as I said, I do really like that they are doing some different things this year. So there were some people who were hyped. As I said, not for me, I haven't seen the show, but I was really interested in seeing that they're going into some new licenses, producing some new figures, and it's interesting because this is potentially, I'm guessing, a different kind of figure body because she is a teenager, is she not? That's not like might be smaller than a female body. Maybe this is where the I was going to say the X-23 comes in handy. Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. I know some figures like Yelena and Black Widow are a little bit shorter compared to some other female figures. So I don't know if maybe they'll use one of those bodies. But as I said, I think it's cool. And again, if you are on Instagram, you should check out the awesome custom that Bob has made because that looks very cool. I didn't spill it on myself this time. Sure, are you proud of me? You just going to roll around? Okay, bye. But the funny thing with the figure world, guys. So I saw this Wednesday figure and I went, wow, that's different. Did not have that on my bingo card. Good for you, Howie. And then this evening, who knew third-party figure company had a Wednesday in the work as well? So JK Toys, I have never heard of them before in my life. Have no idea about their quality. But poor them, thinking we're going to do a Wednesday, something different. The Hot Toys isn't going to do Wednesday. And literally, what was it? A few days ago that they teased Wednesday, and then today this was announced for pre-order. I saw this on the Facebook page for a company called a business called Figure Station. They're a retailer in Hong Kong. I don't know that they ship, but I do like to follow them because quite often you get to see releases that sometimes other businesses don't carry. So it's kind of a nice way to see what's coming up. And boy, they really like the Thing accessory that was in a lot of the promo pictures. So I couldn't see a date for when it was being released. But as I said, I did feel bad for this third-party company that their timing was just a little bit off in announcing their Wednesday figure, which had some really interesting, it was like Raven Wednesday cosplay something. And I'm like, oh, we know who this is meant to be. This is no cosplay. The Broke Collector says, my whole family loves Wednesday. This is going to be the first figure I buy from my wife. Oh, that's so cool. Well, I hope she loves it. And I hope it's not super limited then, so it's not stressful for you to try to get. AJ's here greeting friends. Hope it's all is well. Hope you're well too, AJ. Happy Friday to you. Figure It Out is also here. Hello, everybody. Hello to you. Thank you for joining. But guys, let me know. As I said, Wednesday, appreciate this is not for everyone, but do you like seeing Hot Toys doing some different kinds of IPs? And I do think as well, with TV, we don't only have superheroes. So are people happy to see some different genres being covered? And is it of interest to you? I have no idea. I also don't really know, would this be a scenario of the show that are there other members of the family that you think they might make? Or do you think this will be they're just going to make a Wednesday and that's it? Unlikely that we're going to get any other members of the family. I don't know that I've ever really seen Addams Family figures that I can recall anyway. But it's one of those TV shows. I feel like everybody kind of knows them, right? It's probably why Hot Toys teased theirs wouldn't be the first time they've done that to ruin a third-party company sale. Well, I mean, I thought that too, AJ. Because, I mean, the tease is a little bit limited in what it shows us. And, I mean, was it classic Loki? It's been a few over the years, so I put nothing past Hot Toys. But yeah, as I said, I did feel for this third-party figure company that I think had they done this announcement last week, they probably would have gotten a few more orders than what they might get now. But the figure does come with some cool stuff. So you've got the figure with the outfit set. I'm pretty sure the head sculpt does have rolling eyes, which is interesting because it feels like quite a few third-party companies are starting to offer that as a feature, which is cool. She's got some swap-out hands. She's got quite a decorative display base, which I think looks really cool. It's kind of got cobweb, but stained glass window vibes. You've got Thing. You got her backpack. I don't know if those shoes are different to the ones on her feet, why they're being highlighted. And then you've got the skull with the candle in it. So, I mean, I do know what Wednesday looks like. Is the sculpt a little bit soft? Probably. It's a third-party figure, but you're getting some nice spare parts and some bones. If you were getting the Hot Toys figure, you could potentially get this for some of the accessories or backup items. I don't know. I'm keen to know, Bob, like, are you interested in picking this up? I know you've got your custom, but is there anything from this figure that you're looking at and going, yeah, I wouldn't mind the backpack, or I wouldn't mind the thing accessory to put with my figure? I do really like that display stand. I do think that's kind of cool. Keith says, I'm starting to dip my toe into other IPs. Alien, Avatar, Terminator, John Wick. Nothing wrong with John Wick. Since nothing has really sparked my interest from the MCU or DCU side. That's interesting, because I feel like you may not be alone in that. You may not be alone in that. I really had thought, given the positivity around Superman, that we might have seen a tease or something else. Like, I know even some people wondering if, like, they might just do a battle damage version of the suit. I feel like a lot of people really liked Mr. Terrific. I know I liked him in the movie a lot more than the Arrow version. So I can get it. Like, those classic franchises, right? They're a classic for a reason. So I can totally get it. I'll pass on this. Christina Ricci is my Wednesday. That's fair enough. Ricci, I never know. I think it's Ricci. I don't know. I'm trying. That third-party figure doesn't look like Wednesday, more like Someday. Well, what was the name? Because the name was actually, they called it like cosplay something. It was hilarious. Literally, it's called Shadow Raven Maiden Wednesday Cosplay. That is legit the full name of the figure. Shadow Raven Maiden Wednesday Cosplay. And I think that's how they're trying to get around copyright, likeness, whatever. It's cosplay. We're not saying it's Wednesday. It's the Shadow Maven cosplaying as Wednesday. Don't sue us. I think Hot Toys realize that they can't put most of their eggs in the MCU basket since interest has been winding down, which is probably why they're diversifying their portfolio. I mean, you may well be right. And I am wondering if that's why we're not seeing them go deeper into some of these lines. I mean, Fantastic Four, obviously they've gone quite deep into, but like Thunderbolts, still we've only seen Yelena. A lot of things have come out where we haven't had anything, or maybe just one figure. So it's completely possible. I'd like to see them diversify by doing less troopers, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I can have dreams, right? Dagito's here. Hi, Helen. I don't think I've heard anyone answer your question, but Gotham is a nickname for New York that goes back to the 1800s, rarely used. Oh, thank you. That is super handy to know, because as I said, I've just noticed it recently that and I even think there was is it Gotham Sports Network or something? I just noticed, and as I say, there was the women's soccer team, and I was like, oh, is this because at first I was like, is this part of some kind of sponsorship? Is this something I'm not aware of? But I just noticed it becoming a little bit more prominent. As I said, totally not mad about it. Was just curious to be like, where has this come from? Why is this like that? I didn't realize that that was a nickname for New York that dated back so long. So maybe I need to do a little bit of research to find out a little bit more about it. Dark Knight Archives, 37 watching and only 20 likes. Hit the like button, everyone. I mean, it's free. It's free. I'm here every Friday. I'm keeping Fridays alive, keeping people entertained, even on a slow news week. And if you're not subscribed, do you not like Tim Tams? Do you not enjoy delicious chocolate biscuits? Maybe drop a sub. Maybe you'll win some Tim Tams for your efforts. Or not. It's up to you. You do you. But I appreciate that, Dark Knight Archives. Thank you. Is it just me, or does this Wednesday figure look like it may be too tall? Oh, maybe. I mean, it's third party. I feel like sometimes with third party, like the mantra needs to be a little bit, and depending on the price, because I can't remember seeing a price or a release date for this. But I know when I've ordered certain things like SW Toys did the Grunge Carol Danvers, and I looked at it and I knew it was not going to be perfect. And I ordered it and my view was like, you get what you get and you don't get upset and you modify what you need to modify to make it work. So even with something like Wednesday, it may well be you're buying that to get the outfit. And if you need to do a body swap, that's a relatively cheap and easy thing to do. So sometimes with these third-party sets, like they're not perfect, but I think they give you the bones of a figure that otherwise to get this all done custom would be a much more expensive endeavor. So yeah, maybe not. Dr. Nice here. Hi, Helen and fellow collectors. I hope all is good. I'm well. I hope you are too. Uncarded Reviews asks, does anyone here collect XO6? I think AJ does. Their CEO seems somewhat eccentric, but at least they're promising a TOS Lieutenant something Nichols. I don't know how to pronounce half those names. It's also late and the font is tiny. I don't know if AJ's still here, but I'm pretty sure AJ collects XO6. That's all the Star Trek. I know stuff. I saw a Star Trek movie once. True, I took my mum to see it. That's probably the irony. I don't know if I've told people this on the stream. My mum loves Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. I do not. I sometimes get guilted into taking her to the cinema to see these things. Eccentric is a nice way of putting it. Yeah, I don't particularly know a lot about XO6. I don't follow them, but I have seen collectors like AJ. Like I've seen his display with the Star Trek figures. Some very vibrant colors. Looks visually quite interesting. I don't really know a lot more than that because I'm not a sci-fi gal. This is £125 at Giant Toys. Looks great for the price. So that's probably 250 Australian dollars because it sucks, the currency. So 125 great. That's pounds, right? Not euros. Pounds is 260 Australian and about 170 US. So yeah, that's pretty well priced. Currently doing modifications to my Kento Studios body and suit to try to fit the Batfleck 2.0 head sculpt onto it. Oh, really? I got the Kento John Wick suit and I was very happy that the bodies have scaled up significantly from when I got their first Bruce Wayne figure because that body was tiny. But the body's not great quality, so I am hoarding John Wick bodies and I will replace the Kento one with a Hot Toys one. But yeah, I haven't really seen anyone with the Batfleck, so I'm keen to know, is it undersized? Is there something else that's wrong with it? I do not know, but their suits look nice. Like the two Kento suits I've got, I've been super happy with, and at least with the new John Wick, I'm happy that the body scales with newer Hot Toys figures, because with that Bruce Wayne figure, and I preferred their Bruce Wayne suit, when I had it in my main Dark Knight display, it looked so ridiculously puny because I've got the Bane figure behind it. Like the Bane 2.0 figure just dwarfed it. So I then had to move the Kento one out and put the Topo one in just for scaling because the first body they used was tiny. Also, let me know if yours had a napkin around the body. Anybody who follows me on Instagram hopefully remembers that. AJ says, yes, I love, is it Nanjin? He's very honest, and that's what I like about him. JB says, looking forward to the XO6. Is that the new generation? The next generation? I don't know. Comms seat shipping soon. I've got 6 Trek figures to unbox in my basement right now and another 3 on the way, so they have a direct line to my bank account. Wow, that is a lot. That's a lot of Star Trek. That's fair enough. But guys, if you're not interested in Wednesday, that's okay, because you know what else Helen saw on Figure Station? Catzilla. And I think Catzilla is amazing. And it was International Cat Day last week. So I did want to just take a moment to observe how amazing Catzilla is. And do you know what else I love about Catzilla? Not just the diorama, not just how menacing Catzilla looks, but we have SKUs. So if you're like, oh no, I don't want a black cat, they're bad luck. Rubbish, they're not. You can get an orange Catzilla as well. And it's got a little fire-breathing accessory, which is so fun. I wish they had a tabby that looked a bit more like Shuri. But they don't, but Catzilla, what a treat. This is the kind of random stuff you can find online when you follow some of the figure stores in Hong Kong. It is crazy, all the weird and wonderful things that they make. Uncutter Review says, oh my god, I pre-ordered the Ginger Tabby version of Catzilla with the Cityscape diorama. Did you? Is that how many of your 200 pre-orders are Catzilla? Did you get both Catzillas? Like, because you can get this black one too. I kind of want a Catzilla, I'm not going to lie. Catzilla is awesome. Catzilla isn't awesome. Catzilla is amazing. No napkin. Okay, that's good to know. The Kento body is scaled fine. The Topo Bruce Wayne is very skinny and also needed modification to fit the DX19 head sculpt onto it. Oh, I know. I had a big rant about the head sculpt compatibility on my review of that suit because it was rubbish. And I asked Topo, like, because the neck connector they had previously told me to use with the armory suit didn't work. Like, if you put the DX19 directly on it, he had no neck. If you put the connector on it, he had giraffe neck. So I had to then, like, pull out the Hot Toys neck connector and get some plastic tubing and keep cutting it down till I got the height right. And it aesthetically looks okay, but it is not secure. And that's why I was really on them about the Kane suit and going, because whenever they show their suits, Topo, they're always displaying them with really expensive custom head sculpts, which is not what we're using. Like, 99% of us are using a Hot Toys head sculpt. So with the Kane, I was like, are you going to make this compatible to the Hot Toys head sculpt? And they kept saying, yes, yes, yes. So I was relieved when I got that, and no modification, no tubing, no neck connectors. It just worked perfectly. So I hope that's something that they keep doing because I don't want to mess around. And whenever I have to move that figure, I'm super paranoid because it's not, the sculpt sits there okay, but it's not a secure connection. And I don't like that. Catzilla, brilliant. Should be shooting for fur balls. Well, I mean, there might be fur balls in the fireballs. Catzilla, Sylvester right now attacking me every time I walk by. Oh, kitties. If you want Catzilla, I will send you Sylvester right now. Look, Shuri doesn't play well with others, and I'm speaking from experience, and I can't go through that again. Shuri's a lone wolf, so I have to respect the wants of my child. Catzilla reminds me of when my cat Frodo gets the zoomies. Oh, your cat's name is Frodo. That's actually such a cute name for a cat. I do know what Frodo is, but I do know Lord of the Rings, but I do love an interesting cat name, and I think that is a very cool name for a cat. I worked with a lady and her cat's name was Frisbee. And I've always thought that's such a cool name for a cat, Frisbee. Unfortunately, I don't count anything other than 1/6 scale or statues in my pre-order calculus. If I counted 12th scale, odd scale figures, etc., the number would be embarrassing. Wow, really? You're just posing more questions to me than providing answers. I'm so sorry. I'm not enunciating my words. It's going to be one of those streams. I'm very sorry. Guys, Nightwing, who had this on their bingo card? Revived from the figure graveyard, Howie Claus, the Enigma wrapped in a riddle, gives us Arkham Nightwing from the video game line. I did not think we were going to see this, and I am so keen to see, because I do think So Toys has like a 2.0 or a re-release of theirs on the cards. Who gets this out first? Because if my memory is serving me, and if it's not, please correct me. I'm pretty sure this is limited. Like, they're getting an allocation in Hong Kong, and is it like 2,000 units exclusively at Sideshow? I hated that every picture had exclusively at Sideshow. We get it. Let us just admire the pictures of the figure without a big exclusively at Sideshow bumper sticker on every single photo. Howie. Man of Hot Collectibles certainly didn't. Yeah, I don't watch his stream, but I have seen comments that people make about his knowledge predictions. I have no connections. I make no knowledge predictions. So I'm kind of, yeah, you shoot your shot and sometimes they don't go in. I get that. But I don't know what his sources are. I have no sources, so I'm not going to criticize. If someone's got insider info, that's a benefit for them. I have a spider cat. He came with the bodega suit mask from the video games. Oh, that's cool. Ramstein is loving the Nightwing. I think a lot of people are going to love the Nightwing, and I'm pretty sure he's already gone up for pre-order on Sideshow, has he not? Already listed. Unfortunately, nobody sent him a $50 super chat, so he couldn't predict it. Oh, is that... I'm so confused. Does he ask for super chats to reveal information? I'm so... I always say, like, I feel like in this YouTube land that I'm just sitting on this island. The island is called Australia, literally. I'm just sitting on this island on my own. I have a very small circle of other YouTubers that I talk to. I know there's so many of them out there, and I mean, a lot of them are in America. I'm here, time, distance, all those things. So I'm really not familiar with the background of this, but I'm kind of intrigued. Kind of intrigued by what you're alluding to here. Windman42 says, yes, it's up for Sideshow for pre-order as we speak. Interesting. So it's still up there. So the 2,000 units, I think it's 2,000 units. There's still stock there. Nobody's asking for super chats to make predictions. I'm fairly sure that is a joke. I have no idea. Hence why I'm like, I have no idea how to take half these comments, because I'm like, I don't have time to watch all the streams. I'm pretty honest about a lot of these people stream when I'm at work, and then when I get home, I've been sitting in front of a computer all day. I don't then want to sit in front of a stream. So I'm pretty bad at keeping up with what other people are doing. Maybe that's not a good thing, but anyway. I've had Nightwing on RSVP since he was teased. That was in 2019. I can't remember, but I'm so glad I'm getting him. Well, I'm glad that you're getting him. Oh, sorry, I'm saying it went up, not saying it's sold out or not. No, I know, but I was just wondering, like, because obviously with things like the Artisan figures, which I don't know, Artisan's different, but they're super limited and quite often they don't hang around. So I had wondered, given the Nightwing is limited, and obviously the Sideshow website would potentially also attract people not in the US that were really keen to get this figure and not go through a reseller. I had wondered if it was hanging around. They say he's like Zoltar, the fortune teller from the movie Big. Pay a super chat and he'll tell you the future. Oh, okay. I'm moving on because I don't watch this stream to really understand what you guys are getting to. I'm sorry. It's also 11 o'clock at night, so my wits are not always about me. But Nightwing, super cool. Did you know it's exclusive only at Sideshow? I don't know if you get that gist from these pictures, but just in case you were wondering, where do I get it? Exclusively at Sideshow. Figure looks cool. I mean, they obviously, I don't think they've updated much from when they showed this. I don't know if I really expect them to if they are making this such a limited run figure. But I'm pretty sure with the So-So one that some of the armor pieces were like Velcroed on. So I am hoping that this suit is perhaps not little Velcro parts and pieces for people, because I'm not really a big fan of that. But I do like the aesthetic of him. He looks cool. He's got those little blue lightning effects for his baton, which I do like. I really like it. Got a closer look at the head sculpt here. I do. I really do like this Arkham line. Like, I haven't ventured into the video game line. There's only so many lines that I can collect. But I have been lucky enough to see them in person, and I do think they've made some really nice figures from the Arkham video game line. So if people are collecting that line, I can imagine them being super happy with this. I even wonder, like, are some people tempted to get the Nightwing to display in a different kind of Batman display? Like, maybe not from Arkham, maybe, God, don't shoot me. Is it Titans? Is it Titans that we see this kind of Nightwing in as well? Like, maybe there's other kind of Batman collections that people want the Nightwing for. You can always mix and match. It's your collection. Do what you want. And I did think the three of them look super cool together. And interestingly enough, that Batgirl, I think it's Batgirl, I'm pretty sure that's still in stock at Pop Culture. I did actually also really love, wasn't there a purple version of the Batgirl figure? That was really cool. Purple is my favorite color, so that was very tempting to me. But I think the three of them look really nice together. You can have your own little Bat family from Arkham. I am super impressed with that video game line. But whenever I see it, it reminds me of the sadness that those games make me very motion sick, so hence I don't really play them, which is a shame. Dark Knight Archive says, I would love a Man-Bat figure from Batman Arkham line. Yeah, I think there's quite a few. I remember in this announcement post there being a few requests for other characters from the Arkham line. So everything, never say never. Remember I said that with, was it the Azrael Batman? Was that the one where I just went, guys, never say never. Howie Claws could do anything. You never know. AJ says, a few years ago, I would have been all over this figure, not so much now with other stronger IPs out for me. So I would say Hot Toys missed the sale. Well, I mean, that's the risk, right? When you don't, I mean, because the Arkham games, like, you know, the height of their popularity was a while ago. So it is interesting that they showed this and then waited so long. And maybe that's why they're doing it as a limited release. Maybe they're testing the water to see, is the appetite still there for the Arkham line? Are there other figures they might do? I don't know. But also, you know, I think So-So doing it's probably diluted their market a little bit. Like the first So-So one, I feel like that came out a while ago as well. And you might have some people that are completely happy with that and going, I'm not going to try to get an exclusive off Sideshow. I'm just going to stick with my third-party figure. Like I can totally see some people having that view as well. Aaron's here. Hello, Aaron. I was going to get this Robin, and then I took it off my list because I thought it would never come out. I actually RSVP'd at Sideshow. Now my collection doesn't fit it, but I'm still thinking maybe I need a Robin of some kind. Sorry for the call. No, that's fine. I got you. Yeah, and I mean, I think as well, because So kind of did that Robin figure as well. So I get that. And it's hard. Like, it is hard. And this is where it gets hard as a collector, right? Because you want a set. And if you don't think they're going to complete a set, you might be like, you know what? I don't want this partial set. I'm going to move on for these figures. So then when they randomly go, here's Nightwing, you're just like, I just sold that because I didn't think you were going to do this. So I get it. And this is where it would be nice to know the future, right? And to know what goes on. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I said this before, but I don't think we even got one of those coming soon announcements from Hot Toys this year. You know how typically at the start of the year they do that one picture of here's like 15 figures that are coming out soon. Like, I don't even think they've done one of those this year. So they've kind of gone a little bit backwards in some of their communications to us. I would love a Scarecrow from Arkham Knight. I think I saw a few people ask for that in the comments, Ramstein fan. I was trying to think what the other one was, but I definitely feel like Scarecrow was the one that a few people were asking for. Toy Collector says, watching on delay, I'm actually in Canada. Oh, okay. Pop Culture to Canada is a tad far, but they're still one of my favourite retailers. It is quite far. I know, because I went to Canada last year and I loved it. Thought it was amazing. That's fair enough. Like, I feel like there is a growing number of overseas customers going to Pop Culture. Like, I know Cousin Anthony's picked up a few figures from Pop Culture as well, which kind of interests me, like, because obviously in Europe they're dealing with the VAT and things like that. So I find it interesting to see where people are buying from, and what kind of makes the most sense for them, because it feels like for collectors in like Europe and maybe the UK that they tend to buy, I feel like, a bit more from overseas, whereas for me, I feel like 99% of my Hot Toys pre-orders have been Pop Culture. I don't have a lot of trust to pre-order with resellers. Like, third party, different story, in stock stuff, different story. But if I'm outlaying a deposit for something that's going to be a year or two away, I'm very picky with who I do that with. Ramstein fan says they've made Batman, Batman Beyond, Arkham Knight himself, Harley Quinn, Batgirl, and now Nightwing. Yeah, they're going to keep going. And I mean, they did the variant of the Batgirl, and didn't they also do the black and gold Batman? Was that a variant of one of these Arkham? Was that a Batman Beyond one? I thought the black and gold Batman was really cool, but it was just hanging around in Hong Kong, which really surprised me for an exclusive figure. It was just at all of their stores. I always enjoyed the Arkham games, but I'm not going to jump into the line unless they show a Killer Croc. That was the other one people were asking for, Killer Croc. Killer Croc, fair enough. So Nightwing. It's a pretty simple release. You're getting the figure, you're getting different styles of, I don't know what they're called, something sticks display with attachable lightning effects. Amazing. You're getting, like, I'm going to call it a grapple gun. It may not be a grapple gun. It's fine. Don't at me. You're getting hands. You're getting a display base. The base looks pretty consistent with the other Arkham bases that we've gotten. Yeah, pretty simple release, but I think it's a pretty cool looking figure. So, yes, they did a black and gold and an upcoming Batman Beyond in gold. Yeah, I did like the black and gold one, and when I saw it in Hong Kong, I was very tempted, but I had to reality check myself to be like, where are you displaying this? You literally have nowhere to put this, so have to try to restrain myself. So, 2025, anything can happen. It made me contemplate the Hot Toys figure graveyard. And I think we're all familiar with the Hot Toys figure graveyard because at some point in time, we've probably all seen a figure that's been shown at a convention. There's been some kind of tease. Kree Captain Marvel, hello. And they never make it. So I would love to know, tell me if there's one thing from the figure graveyard that you could bring into fruition, what is it? Because the quickest way to get a bit of a highlight reel of the figures graveyard is the coming soon section on the Sideshow website. And I know this doesn't show everything, but it gives you a snapshot because I even remember things like Yellow Jacket from the original Ant-Man movie. Like that was one of those figures that we saw. It was coming soon. It never came to fruition. So many people have asked for it. So I really would like to know. So obviously Wednesday is, and Human Torch, we're pretty sure they're coming. I did kind of chuckle that Gambit and Elektra were on the coming soon. Still waiting for them. But when you go through the Sideshow website and look at the coming soon section, it is a bit of a blast from the past, like the N1 Starfighter. Remember how people were going, I would buy that. I think that thing would be as tall as I am. Like, it's huge, is my understanding. But people were still, they saw it at an event and they were wanting N1 Starfighters. And I was like, I don't think you all do. But I do want to know, what figure did Hot Toys show and then break your heart by putting it into the figure graveyard? Let's have a bit of collective therapy together. Let's do it. We got another thank you to Bob for a membership. Oh God. I'm probably going to say these things wrong, but lol. Baze Malbus to go with some dude from Rogue One. He got teased ages ago along with a ranged trooper from Solo. Because when I say the Star Wars thing's wrong, like I was saying Shin Haiti, and someone's like, no, it's not Haiti. And I'm like, I'm talking about it. That's enough. Pronunciation, I'm not going to guarantee. So I'm sorry. I don't know how to say half these Star Wars things and stuff. I always wanted a Carol Danvers in her flight suit from Captain Marvel 1. I mean, you can kit bash that. I kit bashed that. It's on my Instagram. Long story short, I'm trying to think. I think I also posted in Kit Bash Kitchen how I made it, but there's a guy called Bad Mother Customs, and he's so cool. He does all these like decals for like figure suits. So he had done decals for the Rhodey pilot suit. So I contacted him and said, hey, is there any chance you would do a version for Carol Danvers? And he did. And so if you can get like the female flight suit, which you can find from time to time at places like Toy Anxiety, the decals are up on eBay. So you can do that. I've just used the Solo movie head sculpt. I have been thinking of sending a sculpt to Tina to get the more pilot look. And then I just got like some sunglasses off eBay, some other parts from eBay. I love my pilot, Carol Danvers. So you can do it. That is an achievable kit bash. Figure it out. I wish they would announce the Bat computer. I've seen it coming soon for years now. Yeah, I should flick through some of these more slides because the Bat computer's another one. So we've got Star Wars. Because why wouldn't you? Who doesn't want R419? I know it keeps me up at night. Where's R419? And then where is Neon Tech R419? Like this is what I want to know. Star Force Captain Marvel, Yon Rog, never getting those. And we had a bunch of the team suits from Endgame, like the War Machine. They had the Captain America, Hawkeye from Hawkeye. Who can forget that? But the Bat Computer diorama is definitely one where I was like, oh, are they going to make this? And I had wondered that because I feel like when they showed this was around the time of the 89 Batmobile getting the 2.0. So I had hoped they would, but they have not. They have not. Just like the Imperial Safe House. Like that's another one that I just... Where's my Imperial Safe House, Howie? I need it. I need it. But yeah, even Zemo. Zemo's kind of cool. I had thought maybe we would get Zemo, but nope. And Team Suit Cap, never got that one. And even the Quantum Time Travel Machine. Like, they showed, like... And that's the thing, the Endgame line was huge, and then you kind of almost forget. Oh, yeah, they showed all this other stuff that they then didn't make. Like, I thought they would totally do all the Team Suit figures, and they didn't go there. Like, I didn't know that we were going to get the Quantum Time Travel Machine, but I did feel like we were at least going to get Cap in the team suit. But we did not. We did not get Cap. But yeah, I just singled out some pictures of some of the things. Team Suit Cap. I thought they were going to go to town with the Steve Rogers because, you know, is it the last time we're seeing him? I don't know. Everything that's old is new again. Captain Marvel Star Force version. I really want this. I really wanted this. I know I'm probably the only person that wants this, but I really wanted this. Didn't care about Yon-Rog. But I really love this colorway. I would have really... It was just a suit repaint, and I get it. Captain Marvel still hanging around. I can hope. I can hope. Just like you want R419, I can hope for Kree Captain Marvel. Zemo, I had thought when we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was like, maybe they might revisit Zemo. No Zemo for us. Hawkeye. That still trips me out. We're not making Hawkeye from Hawkeye, but we'll make Kate Bishop from Hawkeye. And this is where I wanted to get to. The Batcave computer. I do think that would have been cool to do. I do think that would have been cool for them to do, but alas. JB's hoping for the Death Star Trooper and console from Star Wars. To go with your R419, it would be great if Hot Toys released the quarter scale Stormtrooper. Really? Did they show one? Because they've done... I can't believe I know this. Isn't it like a Vader and a Boba Fett that they've done in quarter scale? I don't really know they've done much more Star Wars in quarter scale. Not from the figure graveyard, but I'd like a licensed Lucius Fox and Ra's al Ghul. Me too. Oh my god, Dark Knight Archives. Me too, because I would love this main shelf of my Dark Knight cabinet to just be Hot Toys figures. And they've never given us Ra's and Lucius, so I have the Weapons Advisor, which is actually like a pretty good figure given its age and third party. And I have the Mars Toys Ra's al Ghul. Come on, Howard. 20th anniversary this year. We know that means they're not going to give us anything because they don't observe the anniversaries, but I live in hope. Young Flash. Oh, the Flash Young Barry Allen cancellation was disappointing. Yeah, I'm still surprised by how much they actually made from the Flash movie. I really am. I'd like a few of the Dora Milaje from Black Panther. I know. I always want a Koye. I'll always want a Koye. The advantage of pop culture is if you're willing to wait, you can get the figures that are long sold out. I got my Morbius that way to complete the Midnight Suns, and that was to Canada too. patience pays in collecting 100%. They do, like, it's a wait, and I mean, I always pick them because they're reliable and I get discounts and the rewards are really good. So I'm always willing to play that waiting game to buy from pop culture. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. Shirut is the blind character played by Donnie Yen in Rogue One. His friend and guide was Baze Malbus, badass gunner from Rogue One. I'll take your word for it. Yep, I have the Rhodes flight patch suit from my kit bash. Great set. It is. I'm laughing because when I went to Hong Kong, Iron Logan, who I don't think watches my streams, that's fine. I said to him, going to Hong Kong, like, let me know if there's anything I can pick up for you. And he's like, oh, I want to do a roadie kit bash. Do you think you could keep an eye out for like a body? And I was like, yep, no problem. And so I went to Hong Kong in like November last year. He lives like 30 minutes from my house. He has not come to collect his roadie body and then this other head sculpt that I got from him. And I'm legit at the point where I'm like, what's going to come first? Am I going to, because I want to go back to Hong Kong. I'm like, will I make another trip to Hong Kong or will Iron Logan actually come to pick up his stuff? I feel like I'm going to get to Hong Kong before John remembers to come to my house to pick up his stuff. I want them to make Corvus Glaive from the Black Order. The prototype looks so good. I mean, because they were those third-party figures, but there was very mixed reports on the quality of them. So yeah, I can understand that. I thought MODOK looked good. Oh, cool. Someone was trying to convince me that they wanted MODOK and would buy it. Hello, Shuri. But I don't believe that to be true. Who wants a giant, creepy MODOK head in their collection? I don't know that people do want that. Couldn't wait on the back computer, so Bobby D peer pressured me into ordering the IC Customs version. I think Bob is not only the nicest guy in collecting, I think he's the biggest influencer. He influenced me into buying that armory that I had no intention of buying. I was not buying the Dark Knight Rises armory. And you know what? I now have a Dark Knight Rises armory because Bob was just chipped away at me. But IC Customs do some really nice stuff. Like they've also done the 89, the vault for the 89 bats. Some really nice stuff. I've seen people get like dioramas and whatnot from him. Assuming it's him. Very cool. Like I've seen a lot of cool stuff that they've done. Yeah, fellow JB's agreeing about the IC Customs back computer. Shuri, I don't know if you guys can hear the. We're trying to stream. Her claws are more important, apparently. Keith, I would have liked a Kree version of Captain Marvel, but that release took so long to get to Sideshow due to COVID times. Now they can't get rid of the stock they have. I know, and it was even in Hong Kong they had stock, and I think with the sales that were on, it was something crazy like 840 Hong Kong dollars. Yeah, I know I'm never getting it, but if Howie ever wants to sell the prototype, I'd be interested. One of the reasons I got the Jazz Inc. Vulture was because I thought the Hot Toys wouldn't make the Vulture as the figure. But that's one in the graveyard I would buy along with Gambit. Yeah, I mean, they did that tease. And then nothing. And even they did the tease of the 22 Batman Batmobile as well, right? Nothing came of that. They tease a quarter scale stormtrooper at every Star Wars event. Oh, really? Well, that's why I wouldn't know, because lol. The weapons advisor is still great, and to think I almost cancelled that order back then. I had forgotten I had ordered him until I got the bill from Black Op Toys. Glad I didn't cancel. Well, I mean, I think it's one of those figures that in the secondary market you either don't see often or it's at a higher price, because you don't see it often and there's not that many Luciuses floating around. So it's a good one to have. My only Star Wars figure is the quarter scale Vader. I have the weapons advisor as well. It's a great figure for third party. I also have Henry Jacquard Raz in the ninja outfit. Yeah, I had the ninja outfit. I had two of them. I had one as Raz and one as Bruce Wayne. This was years ago, and I got rid of them due to space. And do you know what else I got rid of at that time? Nurse Joker. That was smart because I had the better CGL Nurse Joker. Sold it because I was like, oh no, don't have space. And then I spent all this time trying to find Nurse Joker parts to kit bash my own. And it's a little bit ironic. And that's another one I would love Hot Toys to do. Like, if you don't want to do like Raz in a suit, do Ninja Raz. Do a 2-pack. Ninja Raz and Ninja Bruce. I'd be totally down for that. I'd really love a licensed Ra's al Ghul. Don't think we're getting it. Jaron's here. Hey, everyone. Hey, hope everyone is doing great. I missed most of the stream today. Been super busy this morning. I love that Nightwing, but I think at this point I would get Chris from Batman and Robin since it's live action. Yeah, I also really love the look of the Robin figure. I think probably the best thing from Batman and Robin is some of the costume design. And you know what? I was even just thinking about this the other day. Unlike Mars Toys, if you want to make an Alicia Silverstone Batgirl, I will love you long time. I will love you long time because you look at Batman and Robin, I think that's like the missing piece. Like Hot Toys is doing Batman and Robin. They're doing Mr. Freeze. We know Mars Toys is doing Bane. They've also teased they're doing Poison Ivy. Jazz Inc. has said they're doing Poison Ivy. So really, Batgirl's the missing link here. I don't think Hot Toys is going to make it. Or I'm worried if they do, they're going to do the ice suits. And I've already got George and Chris on pre-order. I don't want to then have to get ice suits. So Mars Toys. I don't even know who has a direct line to Mars Toys. I would absolutely love an Alicia Silverstone Batgirl. I think that would be it would cap off. And I can't believe how much excitement I have for a Batman and Robin collection when I just never would have thought I would want these figures, but here I am. I feel that Bob Dylan is just providing info for us that might not be aware of items. If you act on that info, that's on you. Don't blame the messenger. No, I definitely blame the messenger for my armory. But he was right. The armory was the perfect way to cap off my camo tumbler display that I had been so indecisive over. Because he's also a visionary. He's an artist and a visionary, that Bob Dylan. Cousin Anthony's here, TJF, ready for consistent cousin stream. I mean, consistency is key in streaming. So even when we have the slow news week, we turn up and we stream because consistency is super important. I'm going to go back one. So Batcave Computers. But I'm keen to know what in the figure graveyard. If you ever met Howie Claus, you had that split second. And it's make character name. I want to know. I want to know who you would ask him to make. Because as I said, there's a lot more than this. I didn't really have the time to go through and find old convention photos and flick through them. But the coming soon on Sideshow, as I said, is that kind of reminder of some of the stuff we've seen over the years that it's never really come to fruition. So I am sort of keen to know. Because I feel like for the longest time it was Yellow Jacket. For many years, people wanted that Yellow Jacket figure and we never got it. I always have to stop and consider, do I really need representation of this actor character in my collection? Do you? Because you have 200 pre-orders. Am I being cheeky with that comment? Maybe. Q Palpatine, MM on Helen. It's ironic. I have no idea what that means. I also have a Bruce Wayne in the ninja outfit with the 2011 Toy Fair exclusive Bruce Wayne head sculpt. I have that figure, but I now have the DX19 head sculpt on it because I am quite obsessed with that DX19 head sculpt. And I keep debating getting the newer Batman Begins, but I feel like someone's going to do a better one at some stage. So I feel a bit hesitant to drop money on the Hot Toys one. So I'm getting both the 1.0 with the head sculpt update. I found that Toy Fair exclusive, it was interesting because it was a separate neck and the neck was just super long. So I found like the DX19 with the thick, shorter neck just made it look a bit more modern and in proportion. Maybe that's just me. I've been thinking of getting that Robin of Chris and getting that purple suit Batgirl from Arkham Knight to give a bit of rep of all the main Bat family I want. Oh, that would be quite visually interesting, wouldn't it? I do, as I say, I really liked that purple Batgirl. I thought it looked super cool. It was just, where do you display it? Like, I have no video game figures, but this is why as well I would love them to do Mars Toys, Alicia Silverstone Batgirl. I would love to have a Batgirl. That would be super cool. Ramstein fan says, it's time for me to go. I will catch up on the replay. It was nice being here for a bit. Take care, Helen, Shuri, and everyone in the chat. Take care, Ramstein fan, and look after little Sylvester. I'm sure he's a handful, but also he's a very cute little kitten that Ramstein fan got. And he is black and white like Sylvester, so it was a very cool name. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. The answer is obviously yes. Yes, I do need the character. Well, I think it is when you've got 200 pre-orders. So it's a lot of pre-orders, guys. That is a lot of pre-orders. Yeah, the figure graveyard. It's an interesting place. Does anyone else remember with Captain America Winter Soldier? I'm not going to get the name right, so apologies. They made like a prototype of the big, like, I want to call it like the hanger carrier thing. I know that's not right, the phrasing. And they showed it, and I was like, oh, and they never made it. And I was like, of course you're not making this. Who's buying this? Who's got room for some of this stuff? But that's where I wonder with things like that. Like, so your N1 Starfighter, and I know Hot Toys would never roll this way, but wouldn't it be interesting if with some of those bigger items, they did put them up for pre-order with the caveat of it needs to reach a minimum amount. And if we get the minimum amount we need, we will go through and do it. I know they would never do that, but I do live in a world where I feel like that would be a fun thing to do. Kree Captain Marvel. The Captain Marvel new paint job sounds like a fun kit bash. I mean, I know Bob got this done as a custom, but I contacted the person and they didn't want to reply to me because I actually contacted them when I was in Hong Kong and they were in Hong Kong because I was like, the Captain Marvel figures are cheap. I could grab one. I could drop it off to them. They could make me a Kree Captain Marvel. But like a lot of customizers, not great at communication. So I messaged on Instagram. I messaged on Facebook. November last year, never got a response. So it's a shame. I made my own quantum suit Avengers Squad. That's cool. The only one I couldn't replicate were Rocket from Rocket, Iron Patriot, Hulk, and Black Widow. Oh, that's quite interesting because I did see was it Young Bum? Is that his name on Instagram? I think he has a team suit. And I was like, how has he done this? And then that's when I was kind of introduced to the fact of, no, it's like the Tony suit, but things have been stretched or sewn together. And Like the front of the figures look good, but like the back of them are probably not as finished and complete as you would expect, but in a display it looks fine. And that's kind of where I made the decision to try to make the stealthy Elena that I did. Because previously I never would have thought of taking a suit apart. And it's scary. Like, I'd like to know how you found that experience. Like, literally unpicking a suit, different body, having to get it stitched back up. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, they showed that. It was in the figure graveyard, the War Machine figure. Rocket would be tricky because he is so small. I'm pretty sure they did a Hulk too, but as I say, I don't know if these people are doing it themselves. Are they paying someone to do it? I'm really not sure. Hot Toys love to take the HasLab or Kickstarter approach for some of these unique projects. Would love. Yeah, I mean, me too. As I said, I know they will never do it, but this is the thing. I feel like, you do these prototypes, you take them to events, and they never really say, this is just an exhibition piece. So then people get, oh my God, I want this. And I get, you can't make everything. And there'd be so much development in some of these, the N1 Starfighter, all these things. So this is where I'm like, can we not reverse engineer it? Put it up for pre-order. Give it a time period. We need to hit this many. And if we hit this many, we're going into production. I think it would be so cool to see how that would go down. Like, what would the response be? Like, how many people would actually put their money where their mouth is? But as I said, I can't see Hot Toys doing that. Oh, wow, taking a stroll through the graveyard. There's definitely a few I'd like to pick up. Well, I mean, I am taking a stroll through the graveyard because we've had 2 figures come out of the graveyard this year. We had the Azrael Batman. We've had Nightwing. So this is where I'm like, never say never. Never say never. That's what I said with the Azrael Batman. So I am literally asking people, like, what is a figure that they've shown that entered the graveyard that you still, if you saw Howard and you had that opportunity to say, make Kree Captain Marvel, what are you asking him to make from the figure graveyard? Young Bum is an absolute legend, one of my favorite accounts to follow. Yeah, I really, he's got a really awesome Dark Knight display and a cool John Wick display. So I often look at some of his photos for posing and display inspiration because he has a lot of cool stuff. Let's be honest, all the custom team suits of Hulk, Black Widow, Nebula, and Rocket don't look good. Well, I'm not seeing them close up. In the photos, they look okay. This version of Captain Marvel on screen is one I'd pick up for sure. I mean, I think that's now 2 of us, or 3 of us maybe. Helen, don't say that. Of course, Hot Toys can make everything. I mean, Howie can make everything and have it in his house. Helen cannot, and she's sad. I'm currently just waiting for Inna to finally put up the Dark Knight Rises Selena Kyle, like all year for it. It's a figure I'm most waiting on right now, especially since I gave away my Hot Toys 2.0 earlier this year. Yeah, I think there's a lot of us that are keen to see the Catwoman, because I think the last update we had, they'd said they had made a lot of revisions to the figure. And this was where I was hoping at their San Diego event that maybe we would have gotten an updated look at the Catwoman. But we did not. So this is where I'm like, they don't seem to want to do a Batman to go with the Joker. So I would be interested to see what their Selena looks like, because I would like to potentially upgrade my Hot Toys 1.0 because I'm worried that that outfit's going to flake. I think it would be fun to do a group commission project, like vote on a custom figure that we all want and contact a customizer to make them. I mean, I think that's what Bob does. And it's funny you say that, because I, for the longest time, for my grunge Carol Danvers, have wanted, like, the SW Toys outfit set. The shield hat is terrible. And then I saw there was a sculptor who did a Clark Griswold sculpt with the Chicago Bears hat and it looked amazing and it was all sculpted. And I asked them about it and it was like, it was not cheap. I think it was like $1,500 US. But if you had like 10 or 15 people, then obviously you're splitting that cost. But I'm like, I feel like that's so niche and I don't know that I would find enough people wanting a sculpted Carol Danvers with a shield cap, unpainted head sculpt. But I know Bob has done a call out. What's Bob? Bob's done a call out for is it Shani from June? Because he's doing a head sculpt run there. So some people do, but I mean, goodness, I feel like we're in this room. We're all very diverse, so I don't even know what we would agree on to do. But it's a cool idea. If they don't get enough POs, they did that to the Bat Missile, the Sicarian Iron Man. No, they do. But I mean, I was saying that for some of these big vehicles that they show, like the N1 Starfighter, 22 Batmobile, even someone brought up the Vulture figure. It would be an interesting approach that if they were in doubt, to open it up for pre-orders with a target and say, if we reach this target, we will make it. But I don't think Hot Toys would ever do that. We had Kit Fisto come back after years and in people's hands this year. And I mean, that's the peak thing of 2025. Will we ever match? I don't know what a Kit Fisto is. I was enjoying my Star Wars free week and then everyone keeps bringing up Star Wars. I feel like I've missed a comment. Or a vehicle or diorama for a custom project. Yeah, I mean, in Costa's Discord Pop Culture Living Room, people are doing some really cool stuff with 3D printing, like dioramas and stuff like that. I've been super impressed. So, and that's the thing, if you can get a group of people together, it does bring down the cost. Bob Dylan is an amazing project manager. But I feel like Bob is very specific in what he wants to have done. But maybe if you do a call out on Kit Bash Kitchen, you never know. Helen, not to go off on a tangent, but did you discuss why Hot Toys might go quiet as they've been for the past few weeks? I can't come up with a reason. I feel like I've just been saying all year that I think 2025's theme is feast or famine. We have weeks where we get a ton of stuff and weeks where we get nothing. And I can't really work out the how or the why, because I feel like in the past, we would have slower periods around the holidays in China. But that doesn't seem to always be the case. Like sometimes we just have these quiet weeks and I don't really know what that's based on. I have no idea. Is it manufacturing issues? Is it like, I don't know. So this is my summary, is just like, it's feast or famine. We either get a lot or not much. And this is where I do get a bit bummed out by how quiet I feel like third-party companies have been this year. Like Toys Era, we don't really hear a lot from. Is it Premier Toys? And they're super delayed with their like Last of Us Ellie figure that I feel like is at least 2 years delayed. So Slow Toys, need I say more? They're gone quiet. And even Mars Toys, who I think are doing some amazing figures, like they take a while to get stuff out. So I think it's been hard. I feel like because we don't have as much happening in the third-party space as far as news and announcements. When Hot Toys doesn't have much to show, like it does go so quiet. And even In-Art's not really a consistent news generator, releases, announcements. They pop up, they disappear for a bit, they pop up, they disappear for a bit. So I think we have become just really heavily reliant on Hot Toys to sort of carry the news of announcements and releases, which is a shame, because I feel like in the past we would have weeks like on Collectors Unite where Hot Toys might be quiet, but you'd have a bunch of third-party releases, so there was always stuff to talk about, whereas now like this week, I don't really know that anything happened in the third-party space. That's why when I saw the Wednesday figure from JK Toys, I thought, I should include that in because there's not much else. Star Wars blew their load, so to speak, on all the Star Wars figures earlier this year. Well, I mean, there's going to be more Star Wars, right? There'll be more clones and troopers and things and stuff. All the things and stuff. More Darth Vaders. Pilates Darth Vader. That's so exciting. I get that. I just don't remember it being like this. To be fair, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night either. No, I don't think you're wrong, but I think because other companies have been quiet, I feel like Hot Toys being up and down is more noticeable. Because if you think about it, like, delays have happened. I think of figures like Avengers Loki, all that, hugely delayed. There's been delays, but when there's so many other things happening in the hobby, I don't think it's as noticeable because, okay, So-So's done this, they've done that, whatever. I do feel like we are, if Hot Toys isn't doing much, it just feels like nothing's happening. I'd love to know what other people think. Do you think like it's become that way where just a lot of other companies that we've come to expect a lot of news and releases from? Because even Toys Era used to be really good at giving you those companion pieces from like Marvel properties, things like John Walker, things like Colossus. They used to be really good at filling in those gaps, and now nothing. Even Present Toys, they just take a long time to release things. So I feel like if Hot Toys isn't doing it, not much else is happening. Need Aliens, Ripley, and Power Loader. Yeah, I mean that was a rumor, was it not? I think I saw that on Reddit. I agree, this year has been very odd for pre-orders, and just getting figures that have been released are taking ages to arrive. Yeah, when there's a gap in releases, it's very easy to fall into the board buying trap. 100%, Anthony. And I was saying this last week that because I've had nothing come in and Wanda's still a ways, I keep looking at all these like topo sets or other alternate looks for John Wick that I could have, which I never originally wanted. Like for me with John Wick, I knew the 3 looks that I've wanted. I've got them now. I've actually been on this real mission to try to make my ultimate John Wick 2. So I've got some different parts coming in to try to combine some of what I have with some different elements. But then I'm looking at like just Topo's standard black suit with a white shirt. I'm going, John Wick does that. He's got that look. I don't have that. Or, hey, could I find that? I think it was I think it was SW Toys who did the casual clothing set with the brown leather jacket and the jeans. So I keep going down these rabbit holes and I have to pull myself back out because I was like, no, that wasn't in the plan. But because, again, like I was thinking, like So-So Toys was saying they were going to release their Arrowverse figures, and we're in August and there's no sign of any of them. So all these things I thought would be coming through this year, I haven't seen. So then my mind starts wandering off to what can I kit bash, what can I buy, what and honestly that's where I try to at least be constructive and buy things like the leg extender sets from Kit, because I'm like, it's cheap, but it's super handy. You never know when you'll need it, but when you need it, you're glad you have it. One thing about third parties being as slow as they are is that Hot Toys can't make announcements and beat those third party companies to the punch on figures they may not normally make. Yeah, that is also true. That's also true. Inner so far are having a very flat year. They tend to pick up at the Shanghai Wonderfest. I mean, I also feel like a lot of the stuff they're doing, I don't know how broad the appeal is. Like, I really would love to know, like, they're going deep on that Harry Potter line, but my understanding was, like, Harry, Ron, and Hermione weren't big sellers. And now they're doing, like, Malfoy. I'm going, is there really a huge market for that? I don't know. Michael Jackson, I would love to know how popular that is out of my own interest. I have no interest in it, but I would love to know the units that they're doing. But I'm guessing the first one sold well if they're doing a second version of it. But this is my thing. I do we even get like an announcement per month from InArt? I don't feel like we do. And now it feels like they're super into the 12th scale. So for me, that doesn't really carry interest. I'm not looking to collect in another scale. But I do wonder if, like, how far are they into completing the release of the Joaquin Phoenix Jokers? Because 2 packs, 4 packs, lots of rooted head sculpts. Like, have they 100% completed that? I don't know. I've got no idea. So I really had thought, what is this? Is this year 3 of InArt? It still just feels very sporadic. And they're not really producing the volume that I had thought. Like, I never thought they were going to be Hot Toys level of we're releasing 80 figures a year, but I thought for them is good, like a release per month. But even then, I don't know what it would take for them to hit that level. Things have really been dry on the fulfillment side of the equation. Lots of promises for future, but nothing coming out of the pipe now. Is that about InArt as well? To be honest, kit bashing gives collectors a high level of satisfaction and appreciation versus buying a complete figure right out of the box. I agree, Keith. I really love kit bashing, and I have tried to say in a few of my videos that I feel like when you do have that need to buy, there's a bit of a dry spell. Like, using the parts you have to make something new is a really satisfying process. Even looking at ways to optimize the kit bashes you have. Like, I was super stoked to find those more accurate sunglasses for the cane in the suit and tie. So there's always little things you can do, but we all would have head sculpts, all kinds of accessories sitting around. And I think the head sculpt is often the hardest thing. Like, if you've got the head sculpt, that's a lot of the battle done. And even researching different outfits to find the parts that you want, it gives you a different focus. And that hunt, when you find the right jacket, pair of pants, or whatever, can be really satisfying. So yeah, I really like having a kit bash project. And so that's why the John Wick 2 is my project. But because I'm waiting for parts to come and I'm not doing the doing, my eye's now wandering to other Topo suits that I think I want to buy. We need an update from InArt for the Anne Hathaway Catwoman. It feels like everyone has gone quiet. Agreed. I would love an update. Please no more Joker. I like it all. I need a break. Yeah, I can understand that. I'm assuming... I'd love to know, though, Mike, are you specific to Heath? Because I did find the Killing Joker announcement actually did... As much as I don't want to get it, I was like, oh, that's cool that they're doing a comic Joker. Like, I liked that it was something that wasn't just another Heath Ledger Joker, or even, to be honest, a Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because I've gone off that since the sequel. I like to collect 6-scale figure blanks and accessories. There's lots of nice fodder floating around. Figure blanks? I don't know what figure blanks means, but accessories definitely. I literally have a list on my phone of all the parts that I want, and I'm constantly doing the rounds of different websites trying to see what I can find. Inada more concentrated on Wukong figures this year. The big hype was last year. Very odd business decisions. Well, this is what I don't really get, Dr. No, because they talked about on their last stream appearance, like, Game of Thrones is going to be our Star Wars. That's what we're going to go super deep into. And then they make that statement, and then we've seen or heard nothing about anything to do with Game of Thrones. The only time we saw that Daenerys was like Wonderfest 2023, I think. It didn't look great. They've talked about doing a Jon Snow the whole time they've existed. We've not seen anything of that. So if you're going to make that claim of Game of Thrones is going to be our Star Wars, how do you then not have anything to show people? And this is where, like that event in San Diego, I really didn't think it was just going to be predominantly a 12th scale showcase with, I think they had the Superman, he stopped in from his world tour of visiting reviewers. And was it Negan? And then it was just 12th scale stuff. And I was like, this was not what I expected from this event. I thought we would see more than what we did. So it's kind of hard for me to get a little bit excited about Inner at the moment. I need a 6-scale Heath Ledger Joker in police uniform. I mean, I said that when they did the bank robber new version, I was like, I wish that was the police version instead, because it's not been done 1,000 times. Like, it was in the DX1, which I have down here. Third parties have done it. But I would have loved Hot Toys to revisit the police look. Give us a nice police Joker like that. I would have loved that. They're clearly never doing the nurse. So I would have thought a police would have been cool. Because even the Topo bank robber, which I know third party, but it's a really nice suit. That's not that old. It's still in stock in some places. So if people wanted a bank robber, it's not like that was not unattainable to them. So the police I think would have been a cool one to do. Figure blanks equals figure bodies. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm just collecting John Wick 4 bodies at this stage, if I'm honest. No more Joker of any kind at the moment. Hot Toys have been doing some good comic figures like Agent Venom, Doctor Doom, heck, even Dark Empire Luke was based off a Star Wars comic. Bring more on. Yeah, I think doing more in the comic side, particularly for DC, I think it's cool. I'd also love Ninja Turtles. I've said this so many times. Howie. Ninja Turtles would be perfect for Hono, I feel. Odd that Inart took the opportunity to showcase their 12th scale line opposed to 1/6. And this is where I'm not understanding half of their business decisions. It's like, what is the focus here? I don't know. Mike says, to be honest, Helen, the oversaturation of Heath has sort of killed my buzz for that character in general. Yeah, I can understand that. And this is what gets me, because even, was it J&D and Inart even talking about doing a bank robber as well? So this is where I'm like, you're all just copying the same stuff. And that's why I thought a nurse, I think, would be a standout. Not that I think they're going to do it, but police, if you needed to do a Heath in your mind, that's not really been done much in an official capacity. So for me, I feel like that would be more intriguing to me than a bank robber. So guys, we're going to try to round things out. We're going to try to keep it to a 2-hour stream if we can, which is impressive because not a lot of news this week, but, I'm here talking about the stuff. So, as we've seen a couple times this year, our friends in Korea, their release schedule seems to give us a really nice indication of figures that Hot Toys will be releasing in the not-so-distant future. Excuse me. So, we have been graced with such a list. And it's interesting because I did watch the Cop or Drop stream last week. So that's with Collector Joey and Austin Nicholas and Danny. And they had Figure Hideout on, which was cool. And also, is it Zorg Photography? I hope I said that right. two awesome content creators I really like. Zord does awesome photography, and then Figure Hideout, of course, does amazing reviews. And they were asking, like, obviously Figure Hideout couldn't say what, but they were like, oh, have you got some, interesting reviews coming up? And he said, yeah, there's a couple that I think people will be really excited about. So I then saw this list and I was like, oh, if this list is true, I can imagine, first of all, Artisan Black Widow, because that feels like that's not been that long a wait for that one. But also Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. Where's Ash Chase when you need him? So this is potentially what we're looking at as far as upcoming Hot Toys releases. So, of course, we know the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, that's come out. So that's been released in Hong Kong. So Korea will be getting their stock in September. We've got Alien versus Predator. Do I know how to say that? No. Akoni Samurai Predator. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Apologies. That's coming up. We've got One Piece Zoro. Life-size Grogu, guys. And don't forget, I gave you this advice at the time, but I need to remind you, if you're going to walk around with your Grogu in your satchel, you're going to have a bad time because people are going to want to touch your Grogu. So please remember that. It's a very important public service announcement. So the life-size Grogu, Marvel Comics Venom, as I said, Wolverine, the regular and deluxe editions, and Artisan Black Widow from Iron Man 2, which I know is one that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. So there's two versions of that. I'm keen to see how it comes out. I know there were rumors floating about and people were talking about a Black Widow Avengers 1 2.0, and I'd be all about that because that suit is going to fall apart. I would also love to see a new Winter Soldier Black Widow. So this is potentially, well, no, we've seen in the past, these lists from the Korean stockers have generally been pretty good indication as to what is coming up. So I've got no doubt there's going to be a lot of excitement for the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I mean, I know you're all excited for Kidpool. I know. And I think guys, I think that's why Hot Toys had to go quiet this week. I think they were like, they're too hyped from Kidpool. We don't want anyone having health issues from hypertension, too much excitement. So that's why I think they slowed it down this week to let us recover from all the excitement that was Kidpool. And I get it. Kidpool. But yeah, I mean, and I think this kind of fits in with what Figure Hideout was saying. He's like, oh, there's two that I think people will be really excited for. Something to that effect. And my mind did go to Wolverine. I was like, he's one of those Wolverine. And I was not thinking Artisan Black Widow would be so soon. But it would be cool if it is. So let me know. Do you have anything on this list on pre-order? Are you excited for one of these things? I'm keen to know. I am always interested in the Artisans to see how they go. I do have the Artisan Winter Soldier on pre-order. So I am obviously following the fates and fortunes of the Artisan figures and how they're going with the rooted hair, how they're holding up. But yeah, I would absolutely love a new Avengers 1 Black Widow. So this Iron Man 2 Black Widow gives me some kind of hope that maybe, just maybe, they might revisit. They might revisit that figure. I don't know. I'm just trying to find where I am at in the comments. I think I'm up to here. So Uncarded Review says, I think that Hot Toys would benefit from scaling back the volume of pre-orders and concentrate more on improving their details and quality of their figures. It's striking that balance, right? Because I think because we always have new content and people always want all the new characters and looks and whatever. So the demand's there, but yeah, like people obviously then want the quality as well. So how do you strike that balance? I think it's hard. When you look at how much they produce, I do think their baseline standard is is high though. I would really hope that Hot Toys wouldn't give collectors the double bird if the time ever comes where they decide to do a Nurse Joker and announce it as an exclusive. Oh my God. Don't give Howie Claus ideas, Mike. He could totally do that. That's why I keep hoping Topo comes good on their promise to do a Nurse Joker. I think InArt gave too much info over the last couple of years and other companies are now beating them to the punch. By the way, I do collect InArt. With some things, yes. With Game of Thrones, no. So 3-0 had the I don't know if they still have it, Game of Thrones figures. And it was interesting because as the show was wrapping up, 3-0 was doing a lot of polling on their Facebook page around like what characters from the series would you like us to still produce? Because I know at one stage there was talk of like a Robb Stark, the Mountain, all these other characters that they didn't do. And then nothing came of fruition for it. So I feel like in the Game of Thrones space, I don't really know that there's a lot of competition for them there. But this is where with like InArt and J&D, I get a little bit, I lack enthusiasm because they're just doing Warner Brothers stuff and they're both doing the same kinds of stuff. Let's do Joker. Let's do Harry Potter figures. So I wish one of them, like I know J&D's doing that John Wick, and that's exciting to see them offer an alternate John Wick figure. Like I think InArt should have done that. I think InArt should have jumped on the Batman 22 license. I feel like they should have done the Selena Kyle Catwoman. I think they could have done an Oz Cobb. I think within the licenses they have, there's other figures that Hot Toys didn't make that would have been perfect for them to skate on in, and they didn't. I don't understand some of the choices that they make. Equan's here. Hello. Speaking of TMNT, this is the 35th anniversary weekend for the movie. Oh, really? Taking the kid to the theaters. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I have that on Blu-ray. I'm totally going to watch that this weekend. I didn't realize. That is actually 1990. I should have realized. That's so cool. Thank you. I'm going to watch that. But enjoy the movie with your kid. I hope you guys have lots of fun. I'll say it for him, release the Wolverine, right? Everybody's been saying it. JB says, I'm excited about Factory Entertainment getting the 6-scale license for a lot of 80s stuff, Battlestar Galactica, Miami Vice, Airwolf, Knight Rider, etc. Yeah, I can imagine Knight Rider having a bit of interest. I feel like people have been asking Jazz Inc. to make kit. But I don't know if they will. The Artisan Widow looks so good. I missed out on her. Well, I think a lot of people were quite disappointed to not get her. And again, this is another one where I'm like, would have been nice to have also had a standard release to go with Natasha. Howie Claus works in mysterious ways. Uncarded Reviews wants the TVA Wolverine to release. Is that one of your 200 pre-orders? I'm going to guess it is. Thank you, Dark Knight Archives. Don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. I mean, I'd appreciate it, and it's free, and we've been talking for 2 hours. So if you've been coming in, drop me a like. I would appreciate it. I have both Artists and Black Widows on pre-order. You have everything on pre-order. I think it would be quicker for you to tell us what you don't have on pre-order, Uncarded Reviews. I still have so many questions I would love to ask you about your pre-order volume. I have a few, I'm guessing, Sideshow figure payments left to do. I've got 2 more on Harley Suicide Squad, so they must be coming soon. I still wonder where Human Torch from Fantastic Four First Steps, could he be in danger? Well, I mean, I'd hope not. I'd really hope not, because I think a lot of collectors really want to see Hot Toys actually complete a set. There was that rumor post that went around on Reddit where I debated sharing that on the stream because I wasn't really sure how credible it was, and it did have things like it said Johnny Storm was coming. I think it alluded to a Silver Surfer figure. It even said things like in the Thunderbolts line that apparently Red Guardian and Bucky would be announced in December. So I took that information with a grain of salt, and because I didn't really know the source, I was like, didn't want to put it on the stream, and then people be like, oh, she makes these predictions. I make no predictions. I try to find what I think to be reliable info and share that with people in case they don't see it. So I know for me, this came from Reddit. I've seen these posts on Reddit a few times this year, and they've been pretty accurate with the release schedule in Korea, kind of giving us a little bit of a look forward into what's going to be released from Hong Kong in the next few weeks. We need the 90s movie Turtles in in 6 scale, but no one wants to step up. I know, this is what gets me. Like, all these other scales, and the only 6 scale Turtles I can think of are from the newer movies. And I did not like the aesthetic of those turtles. Did not like the aesthetic of them all. Like, cool figures. I've seen them in person, but I just didn't like the look of those turtles. So I would really love 90s or even animated cartoon turtles. I think that would be awesome. I think Artisan Black Widow will pop up on WL. I don't know what that means. They did a lot of them, like 6,000. That's a big production. I have no idea what WL is. I'm sorry. It's Saturday morning for me now, and I'm not the best with the abbreves. Maybe Johnny will be announced with the Silver Surfer since he's got a thing for space chicks. Well, I mean, maybe that would be cool if they did announce them together. So, guys, that's a look at what we potentially could be seeing in the coming weeks. Waitlist. Thank you. Maybe. I mean, people should be so lucky if their waitlist converts for Black Widow. I think they'd be super stoked with that. So I'm going to remove that. Hello, it's me again. So again, that's a bit of a look at what we might expect in the coming weeks. I'm not expecting anything in the coming weeks because I live in Australia and we get things in batches. But I'm going to wrap it up there because it is now Saturday morning. I am as tired as I look, and I've struggled to get words out this evening, but we've chugged on. We've had a fun couple of hours together. I hope you've enjoyed it, even though it was quiet. We kept each other entertained. We had some lovely conversations. Big Rib, your timing is not great because I'm heading off, but hello to you. I hope you're having a good day. Mike says, thanks for sharing the list, Helen. You're welcome. As I said, I've found these Korean lists have been pretty spot on, hence why I've picked to share them. As I say, some of the other rumors I'd seen, I did not know where they came from, so I tend to avoid things. Oh, bless you. Shuri says it's bedtime. I kid you not. Poor little Shuri. I think she gets so annoyed on a Friday because she sees me getting up and I have routine, and this is going to make me sound weird, but Shuri likes to drink water from cups. So I have cups around the house of water that are for Shuri, and before I go to bed, I tip them out and I put clean water for her. So when she sees me doing this, she thinks we're going to bed, and I think she gets a bit excited. But on a Friday, I do it because I feel like after the stream, am I going to forget? Am I going to be too zonked? So bless her little heart, I do actually think she was like, are we going to sleep? And then she saw me coming here and was like, are you kidding me? So Shuri definitely thinks it's bedtime. Helen definitely thinks it's bedtime too. Thanks, Helen. Have a nice weekend. You too, Anthony. Thank you for coming to hang out. Great stream as always, Helen. See you next week. Absolutely. This is my time now. Every Friday, God willing, I am back. Okay, you did mean waitlist. As I say, I'm not good with abbreviations, and particularly not in the small hours of the morning when I've been up all day and been at work, and I feel like my capacity in the stream is like, I even find the longer they go, like, I struggle to even read the comments because the writing feels like it gets smaller and smaller because I think my eyes get tired as I go along. Great stream as always, Helen. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Take care. Thank you, Dark Knight Archives. You too. I'm amazed we got to 2 hours, guys, but we did it. Group effort, group assignment. A pluses for everyone. See everyone in the next live stream. Absolutely. Back next Friday, same time. Hopefully we get some cool stuff from Hot Toys. Hopefully some third-party people do some stuff. If any of my Kit Bash parts I order arrive, I'm happy to show them off on the stream if people found that interesting when I did it last time. If not, I won't. It's as I say, it's a group assignment. Everybody gets a say. Star Wars in 60 minutes. That is never happening. Star Wars is lucky I give it 60 seconds, in all honesty. And on that note, guys, have a safe and happy weekend. Thank you for coming to hang out. I will see you next week.